Guys, it worked. It launched. It happened. Hi, I'm Fizoy and I'll see you here at Build a Boot. Because a few days ago, I had already made a tutorial on how to build a tank with the missiles that I use. In most of my videos when I go PvP, I had only shown it for PC in the video itself. I said I was going to do it for mobile, and today I'm going to do it for Emulator. We're going to start by making our tank, or whichever part you want us to start with, wherever you want to put it, so that's where your missile will come out. I'm making a simple tank like this and we'll pay closer attention this time. I got the tank stuck to the ground and it didn't work, so now I'm making a really long cannon. I've already painted it and today we'll make it for mobile. But I don't think it's gonna be easy, because since I'm on the PC, I'm going to be learning how to do it on mobile. But don't worry, I'm going to fix this problem and make it for mobile. The important thing is that you're in the tank. And what we're going to be doing today is going to be a little bit complicated, but it's going to work out. So we're going to start with our missile, but it's going to be right here in the front, okay? Let's make the model of our missile here. I'll start by making the model of our missile. The model won't be that important, but if you want to make the model, you can. If you want to use this model that I'm making here, if you like it, you can use it too. Let me move this model a little further away. Music. Alright, I finished my missile model here, and now I'm going to put our missile model inside the cannon. I'm going to grab it here, move it 20 over to the side, and today it's going to be kind of complicated, more like an advanced level. It's going to be hard because we'll have to make a pretty elaborate system. This system will be for those who are more up to date in the game and who are closer. But if you want to try, you can try, and we're going to start like this. We're going to put 20 of the thing here like this. Look, you're going to put the missile you created, its model, inside your cannon, then you're going to put 20 to the side just like this then. Then you're going to put a glue block, but first remove the chair because we're not going to use it. She puts a glue block, then another plastic one, another piston, another plastic one, and then she adds 2 more pistons. Just like that, you should have something similar. But this missile here can't be touching the pink part. Then, after you do that, you're going to place this piston here, set the length of this piston to 5, and for these two here, set the length to 10, both of these to 10. And look, I'm going to do this yellow piston here. You should set it to 5, and these two here, you're going to set these 2 red ones. You're going to set the speed of the piston here, of the 2 red ones, to 10. You're going to set it to 100 or as high as you can, and this one here, you're going to set the speed to 7.7.5. After you do that, you're going to remove the anchor from these 2 pistons. But only on these 2 yellow pistons, you're going to put a lever, copy it to the side and use the one you copied. You should have something. So there won't be anything connecting, then you're going to connect these 2 pistons to the lever and you're going to activate both pistons. Are you going to put everything on anchor? Are you going to put a little block here? See? Just like that, and then you'll remove the lever. Done. Now that you've done this, you're going to come here and grab any jet. I recommend the purple one. If that's unavailable, use the red one. You're going to put the purple jet in and you're going to place it inside the missile, but you can't let it touch the glue there. After that, you're going to turn off collision and transparency, and then you're going to add some dynamite. I'm not going to add dynamite, but you can add dynamite and make sure the dynamite isn't touching. This pink part here is going to be very important. Now that you've done that, you'll see the glue block, which I painted yellow. I'm going to paint it blue. There, I painted it blue. Look, you'll be seeing the glue block, this tutorial. It's going to be important for you to have a lot of these levers here, the one I just placed. It's going to be important for you to have plenty of them. Then, after you've done that, you're going to disconnect this lever from everything, okay? And you'll leave only the lever connected to this piston and also to the jet. After you do that, you're going to come here, set the lever's transparency to 75 and turn off collision. After you've done that, you're going to come here, grab a camera and place it on top of the glue block. Just like that, it should be going through this ejector, which is important for it to be passing through there. After that, you're going to come here. You're going to move this camera to your tank so it looks just like this. Then you'll add some little details to connect the camera to the tank, just like this, okay? And if you want to paint the camera, you can. After you've done that, you're going to come here and add a timer. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the timer? Where are you? Here it is. Add the timer and set the delay time to 0.1. After you've done that, you're going to save. And you're going to connect the timer here to our rocket, and then you're going to connect this timer to this lever, and you're going to disconnect the lever from our rocket. You should have something that looks like this, and after you've done that, you're going to take it. You're going to place a glue block, disconnect it from everything, then you're going to place a lever and disconnect it from everything. Then, after you've done that, you're going to connect the lever to this block here, which if you click it, it turns off. You're going to remove the collision, set the transparency to 75 then, after you've done that. You're going to come here to the lever, grab these things here, and connect them. Just like that. Now comes the complicated part. You're going to get the piston. You're gonna place it just like this. You're gonna disconnect it from this lever, set it to 10, and then activate it. After you've done that, you're going to take all of this here, see? Except for the piston itself. Well, actually yes, and you're going to set the scale here to 10. And you're going to clone it upwards, and you're going to clone it again and again. And again until you have 5 missiles. After you do this, actually I made a little mistake. You're going to come here and disconnect this camera from our lever, which I forgot to disconnect earlier. After you do that, you're going to come here and disconnect this little piston from the lever. Then you're going to make a pretty complicated system. You're going to take it. First, you're going to delete this piston here, this piston up here. Then, after you have this piston sticking out a little, you're going to place another block. It can be any block. Actually, it has to be the plastic one because it's light. There you go, just like that. Then, after that, you're going to take this lever and connect it to this piston like this. After you do that, you're going to take this lever here. Look, you're going to connect it to this piston, so you'll take this lever here and you'll have to connect it to this piston. You're going to take this lever here, which will be connected to this piston, so you'll take this lever here and connect it to this type of piston. This lever here won't do anything. Now that you've done that, you're going to take all these missiles here, and I'm going to connect them to the timer, and it's the same thing for the levers. You're going to take all the levers, and you're going to connect them one by one. Then you'll have something that looks like this. After you've done that, you're going to take these 5 pistons here. Actually, I think there are 4, but take all of them. And you're going to connect them to this little lever. Done. So after you've done that, you're going to come and place a seat. It can be up here. You're going to disconnect it from everything. You're going to make this whole system invisible, but I'm not going to make it invisible. And the only part you won't make invisible will be the missiles, but I'm not going to make it invisible. If you want to make it invisible, you can. Then after you do that, you'll save it. And now, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to remove the anchor. This is the most nerve-wracking part because it's the testing part and I don't know if it's going to work or not. But it's very likely that it will work, so just relax. Now you guys are going to be connecting the seat, these 4 wheels, right? You won't be connecting them to the levers. And that's it. Now that you've done this, you're going to take this little camera and put it on F, but it's just this little camera here that you'll need to worry about putting on, just this part. Why? On the emulator on the phone, there's only one option. It's a little red trigger option. That's the only one you'll have. And this little trigger option, if you go on the PC to build something, like if you want to set it up, minigun on F, cannons on R, missile on T, on the PC, you'll have the key options. So if you select the minigun on F, it will only select the minigun when you press F. But now on emulators, it works like this. They only have a little trigger type option like red. When you press it, you'll activate everything you've set up. You won't have the option for FRT because if you had that option, you'd be covering the whole screen. And you wouldn't want to play with a screen full of options. But then, when Build Bowl created this game, he only made it with a little red button. And since we're going to be using this, there will only be a trigger, which will be the red button. So if you just press the red button, you'll already be able to do it. Because the rest, you'll press with your finger. Because as you can see, I made it as a lever, so you can click it normally. And if you click it with your finger, it will activate the lever on the phone. So I'm going to remove the anchor here and we're going to test it to see if it works or not. Since I already expected it to fall, I can fix this easily. Of course it's gonna fall, we just have to put it back again. It's falling again, we need to do something about this. We're going to come here, we're going to put the block just like this. Then after that, we're going to set the scale to 0.2 and we're going to do it just like this. Then, after that, we're going to get the scale on the 7th tool and we're going to set it to 10 and clone it. We're going to remove this little block here and it's going to look something like this. Now we're going to come here to test. We're going to save. And let's put it back. Look, nothing dropped because I did that. Now we're going to click on this lever. And everything will go back to normal. Perfect! That's exactly what I wanted to happen. Now you're going to press F and there will be a little camera like this. Then when you click on this camera... Yeah, hold on, I can't click it. I think I'll move it forward a bit, then it'll work. Probably. Done. Let's put it back. And this is what's gonna happen, look. But why couldn't I click? I don't know. Let me see. I already understood what's happening. I'm going to test something. I'm going to come here from farther away. I'm going to select all these yellow pistons. I'm going to change the piston length from 5. I'm going to set it to 1. Each. Done. Now I'm going to save it and I'll put it back. And I'm going to click this lever. Now it will probably work. No, it was so close to working. I have to put it. I'm going to select all of them again. And I'm going to set it to 1.5. This system, as I said from the beginning of the video, is more complicated for people on newer versions. So, I don't know if it's going to work out for you like it's working out for me, but I wish you good luck. There you go. Now that you've done this, there will be this little thing down here. When you click it, okay, I already expected this would happen, so it's normal. Let me respawn. I'm going to test something. Done. I removed the collision from everything, and now I'm going to test it again. It worked, but it activated another rocket that wasn't supposed to be activated. Look, it had worked when I removed the collision from everything. But the problem is that it activated another rocket that wasn't supposed to be activated. Let me check the system up here. I think I already figured out what's going on. And I'm going to disconnect it. I'll do it here. Crazy. Okay. Done, I'll save it. Now I'll check if it's working. Now everything should be working. If it's not, honestly, I don't know what's going on anymore. Foy! Huh, why didn't it go to preferred? Man, the problem is with the missiles, it was... Ah! This is upside down, man. Hold on, I messed up. Wait. There! Now everything should be working. Look, the system should be just like this. If you have it like this, everything will be fine. I'm going to test it. Oh, it worked! Guys, it worked! It launched. It worked. Look, so I'm going to show the system and how everything turned out on the screen and see if it looks right to you all. I'll show it without the fourth tool, okay? Remember that this whole system here should have no collision except for the tank. Everything here should have no collision. Everything I'm showing right now. All your little pieces should have no collision, which is in green. Now I'm going to show it with the fourth tool so you can see if yours is correct. Alright, so that was my missile tutorial for mobile. I hope you liked it. That was the video, sweeties. Hope you liked it. Bye. God bless.